Hello everyone, Alan Holt here, KIII TV3, Corpus Christi, Texas. Making sure this is on. Okay, we're good on the phone and the mic's good. We are going to be talking about tonight's Thursday night, February the 1st. It is 9 o'clock on the dot right now. We're going to be talking about Friday night's, February 2nd, Groundhog Day, / Saturday morning's opportunity for some rainfall in the area. Showers and thunderstorms going to be moving in. So that's what this is going to be focused on. We'll try to address this as thoroughly as possible. I know we'll have questions, but hopefully we can get all of those answered here, however long this takes, maybe on for 30 minutes or so. So again, it's 9 o'clock right now. If you're watching at any other time, it's not live anymore, and this will have been a recording. If you're watching and it's 9 o'clock, you're watching it live in real time. No recordings, it's all live. So we'll pull up the graphics here. This is the Storm Prediction Center's outlook for tomorrow night / Saturday morning. So Friday overnight into Saturday morning. This is a map that's made by the Storm Prediction Center. It's a branch of NOAA, the Weather Service. That's what these maps, where they come from. And green is marginal risk for severe weather. That's the lowest risk category there is in terms of severe threats. It's a 1 to 5 scale. And most of our viewing area, in fact, all of our viewing area, with the exception of southern Jim Hogg, Brooks, and Kennedy counties, in this marginal low-end risk. So that means that it's possible that a storm gets stronger and reaches severe limits. The main threats would be 40 to 60 mile per hour winds or 1-inch hail. The tornadic threat is really low. It's not zero, but it's low. And these storms will tend to be shorter duration. You know, we're not going to see a long track, hours-long severe thunderstorm, and very limited in their coverage. So from a communication standpoint, I would say that most people in the coastal bend will not get severe level thunderstorms, but it's possible. It's very difficult to decipher exactly where that will happen. So for example, if one of them happened to hit Corpus Christi, then many of you would get a severe level storm, but in terms of the coverage, it would be quite isolated when you're looking at a map like this. So the best chance definitely looks like it'll be around and west of San Antonio. Again, this is for Friday night into early Saturday morning. And that yellow color, that's a 2 out of 5 risk, slight, still not into the higher end threshold for severe activity. And you know, I'm going to show some stuff that literally just came out an hour ago maybe. This is the most recent forecast information. And you see I'm going to restart it here because I didn't set the pause. So we'll go back to this other graphic briefly, see if I can make it happen. Yeah, there we go. So when I click to the next graphic, you'll see that the orange hues, they are initially where this yellow color is on the map, and then they drift a little bit more to the south during the overnight hours. So when I click this forward, it'll start at 9 p.m. and then go to 2 a.m. Here we go. There are the orange colors west of San Antonio, drifting southward as the night progresses. This is 2 a.m. So you know, the yellow shaded area may shift a little bit more to the south tomorrow with tomorrow's update and forecast information. Nonetheless, I don't think our risk really changes a whole lot. It's still going to be isolated, but you know, it's possible that a couple severe level storms do pop up. So that's the storm potential, and we're really just looking at the most favorable conditions according to this model. This is the HRRR, the High Resolution Rapid Refresh. If you're a weather weenie like me and our staff, you know, that's what we're looking at here. So may have a little southward shift in terms of where the best chance for severe weather is into Saturday morning early. By the time 7, 8 o'clock Saturday morning comes around, this is all over and done with, and we'll be, getting away from the rain and back to the sunshine for the majority of the weekend. But this is going to start unfolding 8, 9 o'clock, showers and thunderstorms approaching the coastal bend. So they'll be approaching, moving into Duval, McMullen, Live Oak counties. That's the area that's initially going to get this. It'll start, from the west and progress east. We'll have a few rounds or waves of scattered showers, isolated thunderstorms move through. So, it's not every location's going to get the same thing all at one time. It's going to be scattered around, and that's just the nature of how this is going to unfold. It's not going to be just a solid line of storms, one and done, and that's it. We'll have a couple of waves of activity worked through. I don't think it's going to be a massive rain producer. If a location gets a couple of heavier storms, maybe you get an inch of rain, but I think that'll be an outlier. I think most locations get a 1/10 to a 1/2 inch of rain. Again, this is done by 9 o'clock Saturday morning. So we'll walk through the future cast. First things first, Friday's not, it's no big whoop. It's fine, we're good, blend of sun and clouds. Southeast winds do get a little bit stronger, so we could have some gusts around 30 miles per hour here on Friday. And that's going to bring in more humidity, which will be kind of a pseudo fuel for these storms to get going Friday night. There's a huge upper level system that's going to roll through, and that's really the igniter for all of this stuff. But that starts to come in, again, Friday, 8, 9 o'clock. This is 9 p.m. tomorrow night. Jim Wells County may be getting in on some, this wouldn't be terribly impressive coverage, but we're going to start to see this stuff work into the area heading into, again, Friday night after sunset, moving in from the west. We'll have a couple of rounds or waves of shower/thunderstorm activity. Again, this is the time frame, 2 o'clock in the morning Saturday. Could have a few stronger cells, maybe some 40 to 50 mile per hour winds, small hail. If they reach severe limits, that's when we'd be talking about 60 mile per hour winds, 1-inch hail. But I don't think that's going to be the norm with tomorrow night's activity. 5:30, 6 a.m., we'll have another last wave of showers or storms work through. And this one may look a little bit more linear as it comes in, but this is going to be the last of the activity. Once this little linear looking structure works through, if that's how it plays out, one thing about forecast modeling, don't take it verbatim. It's just trying to paint a picture of what is probable to happen. And, we're going to have the scattered storms. That's going to happen. When, where, exact, that's more of a real time, we call that nowcasting things. When we have a tangible storm, we can track it, but not until then. After that last wave comes through, it's beautiful Saturday. If you have plans really after 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, have at it. It's going to be nice. It'll be sunny. It'll be dry air, a little breezy, 10 to 20 mile per hour northwest wind, 30 mile per hour gusts. But this system's coming in from the Pacific. It's not going to have a whole lot of oomph with respect to colder weather. And we're going to be mild, if not warm, this afternoon or this weekend in the afternoon. So that's Saturday, 3 p.m. We're all good there. Right now, 66. Look at the dew point on the top right of this little nugget of weather stats. 63 on the dew point. That represents the floor for tonight's overnight low temperature. So we're only going to drop off maybe a handful more degrees with that humidity rising. The temperature cannot drop below the dew point unless we get an air mass change, which we're not expecting tonight. That low 60s is going to be about as low as the temperature goes overnight. So pretty quiet right now. The calm before the proverbial storms in Texas. The system we're watching is over Arizona, front stemming to the south off of it. And you see all the rain over there. That's the desert. Desert Southwest, getting rain. Mountain snow as well. We've got the winter highlights out that direction. So that's the system. That is going to be where our rain chance comes in from. It's a Pacific system. Really starts after sunset tomorrow. You see that flurry of storms around San Antonio, down the I-35 corridor north of Laredo. And that's where they're initially going to start, is to the north and west of us. Some of these could be strong, approaching severe limits. One thing to kind of just watch, because these are going to be scattered around, sometimes meteorologists will call these discrete type thunderstorms. Sometimes they can get going a little bit stronger. So if you have a rogue cell that looks, it's out in front of the rest, kind of like a lead horse in a horse race. It's just got that extra oomph to it. Sometimes those can get going a little bit more, but we'll be watching. That's just something we'll be watching for tomorrow with the activity. This will be an overnight thing. This is 6 a.m., so rounds of showers and storms, not continuous all night, but passing showers and thunderstorms through about 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, maybe 8. But once we hit 9, I think we're over and done with the rain chance on Saturday. Behind this front, dry air comes in. Saturday looks nice, right? Saturday looks nice. I had someone ask on my Facebook page, can I have a piñata Saturday afternoon for my baby's party? Oh yeah. String it up. Fill it with candy. Saturday looks nice, right? Fast clearing. We'll have sunny skies, borderline sunny delight territory Saturday. The wind is a little bit too gusty for my taste, but Saturday's looking decent. On Sunday, this same system moves east quickly and it strengthens. So the low deepens, the low pressure feature gets stronger, and as that happens, it's going to squeeze our pressure gradient. It's going to get tighter, and that's going to raise the northwesterly winds in the area. So it's going to get gusty here on Sunday. I think we have 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts in the forecast. We do have that in the forecast, but I'm saying I think we see that happen on Sunday with this northwesterly flow coming in around this deepening area of low pressure. So Sunday's going to be windy. We may have some elevated fire, weather concerns. However, with that, we've got a lot of rain recently. We're not in a drought anymore, although the reservoirs are very low. The ground is not in a drought, so that suppresses some of the fire concerns. When we get these dry, gusty air masses coming in. So that's Sunday. Really, after Sunday, there's not a whole lot of issue or concern with the weather into the first half of next week. One other thing to watch, I hope I paused this in the correct point. I did. Okay, so I didn't show this, I haven't shown it on TV, but another thing we look for with respect to just what does our chance for rain look like? We're looking for all the reasons why it looks like a decent opportunity. And this is looking at the upper level winds, 250 millibars up, 30,000 feet up, the jet stream flow, where airplanes fly, jet stream, that's where that name comes from. The winds here, they're going to be strong, but the localized maximum of winds, we'll call that a jet streak sometimes. And within that jet streak, you can break it down into 4 quadrants. And because the air is moving from left to right or west to east on this screen, you have the rear part of the jet streak and the front part of the jet streak. So if you're thinking about it like a car, where I have the circle and the way cars move, that would be the driver's seat, right? That would be the driver's seat of your car, the front left quadrant, if you will, of the jet streak. And within that area of wind, you have an additional thing. It's called transverse circulation. In essence, all that means is that the wind in that part of the jet streak also supports vertical motion, so lift. And that's another feature that you can identify to be a little bit more confident in the rain chances. So there we are in the left front quadrant of the jet streak at 1:30 in the morning Saturday. Just another thing that we, can look toward to maybe be a little more confident in the rain chance. There's probably a reason I don't talk about that on TV, because it's hard to explain quickly. The rainfall, not going to be a huge rain episode. This is an overnight event, not widespread coverage. It's scattered, hit and miss type stuff. So I think for the coastal bend, we're looking at anywhere from a trace to a half inch of rain on average. There may be some higher isolated totals. Some places could get an inch, but in general, that looks to be a good range in terms of rainfall. The higher amounts up near San Antonio, up toward Houston, they're looking at possibly several inches of rain. But the real place we want this to fall is the watershed. Unfortunately, it is what it is, and it looks like it's going to be mostly east of the watershed in terms of the best rainfall. I do think the watershed gets hit, and there will be big storms over the watershed, but it's going to take multiple big rain episodes to start really seeing an improvement in Choke Canyon and Lake Corpus Christi. We're still at 30.9%. We had a lot of rain. Was it last week? I think it was last week. I can't remember. But we had a lot of rain in January, 3.5 inches of rain, which is, I think it's more than double the amount of average rainfall we receive in January. Just didn't fall in the right place. So that's how the rainfall looks. That's where the watershed is, and that's what we've got. So different note. Special thanks to Kristen Walla. We worked together on some weeknights. She spent yesterday revamping Petronilla Pete for the Groundhog Day lovers out there. It's Groundhog Day tomorrow, so we'll be watching to see if Pete sees his shadow over in Petronilla tomorrow. See what the prognosticator of prognosticators says. Again, this is folklore. We're not seriously sitting here saying, oh, we saw the shadow, that means X, Y, and Z. We're having fun. That's what we're doing with Petronilla Pete. Localizing Punxsutawney Phil. So fun. It's fun. By the way, Groundhog Day, great movie. Bill Murray, it's a classic. And it's about a meteorologist. Maybe I'm biased. I don't know. But Groundhog Day tomorrow. We'll be watching Petronilla Pete. There's another variation of Pete there on the 7-day forecast. Friday, breezy and humid, mild, mid-70s. There's the rain chance. Again, overnight Friday, starting about 8 or 9 o'clock through 8 or 9 o'clock Saturday morning. We've got the scattered outlook there, so it's not going to be 100% coverage as this thing comes in, but clearing pretty quickly Saturday morning. It'll be sunny in the afternoon, a high of 77. Big time gusts of wind on Sunday. We're looking pretty gusty on Sunday. Breezy on Monday, a little sunny delight action Tuesday with less winds. Tuesday next week looks great. And then we cloud back up into the later parts, mid to late parts of next week. I'm going to answer this question very quickly. I'm going to go back on some of the graphics here. We'll go back to the rainfall update. So Adriana Hinojosa asked about, I wonder why the east gets more of the rain most of the time, maybe because of land not being by the sea as much. That's a great question on why these rain episodes tend to happen when they come from the west, right? They tend to be more lucrative north of here and east of here. Like southeastern Texas, San Antonio points to the north of that. So what I think, and this is just me talking, we're talking about weather right now, and this is just my take on why this happens. As systems come in from the west, they are bringing all this moisture, they're coming in, a lot of energy, things looking great. The Sierra Madres in Mexico, you got a mountain range in Mexico, it ends up turning into the Rocky Mountains, right? The Continental Divide, the big mountain chain. As stuff comes in from the west, there's a rain shadow effect on the, I guess it would be called the lee side of the mountain range. So the eastern side of the mountain, it's a rain shadow. The windward side, you know, the side that's facing the west, that side gets a lot of rain. But in essence, what happens is the moisture goes up, it condenses out over the mountains, and then it's drier as it comes back over the other side. So the watershed is closer to the mountains in Mexico, and that area is going to be in more of a rain shadow because of that effect of the rain going up. It condenses and it's drier on the other side of the mountains. And then you pick back more of that Gulf moisture as you get towards San Antonio, Houston, points to the north of that. So that's my take on it. In the hurricane season, systems coming in from the Gulf, you flip that. So the Sierra Madres, now you're on the windward side with systems coming in and clashing against those mountains. And that's when we see a lot more rainfall come in much like in bigger droves, right? If you get a tropical system coming in from the east, it tends to be a lot more rainier than systems coming in from the west. So that's just my take. Great question. See if I can answer a little bit more. Go back to the 7-day, because why not? Aaron Retta asking, is Pete gonna see his shadow? Still gonna be warm. Whoa, what is all this? I'm going way too much in the graphics here. Let me put the mic off. I'm gonna go get the weather graphics back up really quick. I clicked it way too many times. Bear with me. Oh, this still holds up. Cool. I updated that a few days. Bear with me real quick. Okay, put the mic back on. We're back to the old 7-day. Oh, check out this shirt. Birds sitting on golf clubs. I know. Okay. All right, no, I'm not seeing too many questions, so I've got 40 minutes or so to get ready for the 10 o'clock broadcast. Time now is it's 9:24, Thursday, February 1. We'll leave it there, you know, just stay up to date with the weather tomorrow. I'm actually gonna be off, so Kristen will be in, and she'll be tracking this. She's great, very meticulous meteorologist, Kristen is. She is very into details, detail-oriented. So good hands there. She'll be in. Carly will also be in the morning, and then Faith coming in on Saturday morning. So thank y'all for watching. We've been on this for 24 minutes. We'll log it off now. We'll see you at 10 o'clock or wherever you watch us or get information. about the weather. Stay safe. We'll see y'all next time.